Hello, everyone. My name is Andreas Pop Culture Talk. Not Will. Oh my God. Chris and I, of course, Chris, my good buddy, are back again for another spectacular Andreas Pop Culture Talk. Chris, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Andre? Excited to be having this podcast with you. I know it's been a while, and
Yep.
we got some pretty exciting things to talk about.
Yes. So yeah. So this is was it episode 4 of the whole podcast of Andreas Pop Culture Talk. Next week I'm gonna get two separate podcasts from this current podcast that you're gonna listen to, which is the trailer discussion on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Specifically the trailer 2, and then of course a full on spoiler cast on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Me, Chris saw it twice, which was awesome. So I am very excited to discuss this again. Just to remind our reviewers, for me, I did do a spoiler cast before. That was Will. But that's in the other channel, the DC Marvel Plus Talk. So check that out over there, the Marvel Plus Talk, because it would be much more fun because this time around I saw more Easter eggs and discussions that me, Chris had, and stuff that I didn't bring up in the latest from that podcast, which I totally wish I did, but thankfully I can do it here. So anyway, um, yeah. So let's do this. We're gonna do first the trailer 2 discussion of the TMNT Mutant Mayhem, and then afterwards we'll discuss Spider Verse. Is that good for you, Chris?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so let's discuss the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Mutant Mayhem trailer 2 discussion. We saw this in the theater. Which was fun, and I still love this trailer. Did did you had a chance to rewatch it before this podcast, or just didn't
I
have to?
I unfortunately did not, but I saw that it got really good reactions because they recently had a screening. It's the cut is unfinished, but they recently had a screening at the Annecy International Film Festival on Monday, and it the crowd, went nuts and
Yes.
received a standing ovation, and it was so good that the director Jeff Rowe had to return to the stage to soak in the praise, and here's what he had to say. I'm gonna read you a quote. Being in the room and feeling all the reactions and hearing all the laughter was amazing. But what really stood out to me was to see our movie received and appreciated in that way by a lot of people who really love and care about animation.
Mm,
So I think that tells you a lot about what we should expect when this film comes out.
yes, I will. Thanks for bringing that up. I just saw that just today. I think I saw that, and I was pretty excited now for the movie now in August, which is good because I really like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise, so this gives me a lot of enthusiasm towards the movie, which is great. And I think that's one of the things that's like very good to get the positive word of mouth right away before the movie comes out in August 2nd. Um, yeah, so I really appreciate Chris. You brought up the quote from the director. Yeah, so I'm very happy that the the screenings went well, so which is good. Now, I guess just overall opinions. I think the trailer was really good. I think it conveyed a lot more what's gonna be in the film. Like, of course, what's the arcs for our four main turtle heroes in the film, and how they want to be accepted, and try to live a normal life as a teenagers, which I really like, and that's very good that they're aiming at. Particularly with these characters, which we're really aiming at them as actual teenagers. It's great because sometimes in some of the versions we don't spend time with that. There's a few that do. Like I think the 1990 version does that well. the 2012 version from Nickelodeon that ran 5 seasons, did really well for that. So I'm very excited for that. We'll be doing more of that. The villains, we didn't know too much about the villains until I think this trailer. Um, so far, the villains are not going to be the Foot Clan, or Shredder, so that's very promising. Instead, we're going to get more mutants villains, which I'm excited for because we haven't really gotten that in the live action films, or even we tried to do that from Michael Bay version 1, 2016, Battle of Shadows 1, but that didn't do great with that. It was just a mess. So I'm very excited to see that, particularly because we're not only getting Superfly, we're also going to get Baxter Stockman, who's a great character. He had his first live action debut in the Out of Shadows. He was played by Tyler Perry. Of course, with this Stockman is going to be voiced by what's his name? That's from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Um, uh, Giancarlo Esposito is going to voice Baxter Stockman, which is great. So that's good that using that villain for that. I'm really excited to see this new version of April O'Neil here. They race bid her. This is the second time they did that with April. The first time they did that was the new cartoon that came out in I think 2019 of or 2018 of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Nickelodeon. So, but yeah. So overall, I really enjoyed this trailer 2 discussion. I'm kind of curious, what's your overall opinion on the trailer, Chris? So, what's your opinion on the trailer 2 discussion? I already expressed mine already.
Oh yeah, I like the trailer because it gave off a lot of like teenage vibes, and it reminded me so much of Across the Spider Verse. Just the animation itself and the visuals were amazing, and it was funny. It was entertaining, and as you pointed out, I love the casting. It's
Yes,
gonna be yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I'm okay. It's gonna be yes, and it's gonna be very interesting to see how it plays out with the cast.
yes. I think so. One of the things that uh, I'm very because I say the
Hello.
hello. Sorry, I had to sneeze. So anyway,
Did
yeah,
you lose reception?
no. I just had to sneeze, so I had to mute myself. So anyway, I thought that I'm really curious about the cast because I think that because with the four Turtle heroes, they're going to be newcomers, and they're going to be the first time ever for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles teaming playing these characters, which is good. So I'm very excited to see more we're going to get actual portrayal, like the actual feel and acting of a teenager from actual teenagers of actors. So that's really cool. And particularly, I'm very excited for the other main cast. Very intriguing cast. So Ice Cube is going to play Superfly, which we saw in the trailer. I'm very stoked for that. I love Ice Cube as an actor. Um, but then that's weird because if you don't know your TMNT history and lore of the universe, Baxter Stockman becomes Fly. When he mutates. So I'm kind of intrigued if they're separating the characters as the main two villains, or Stockman is going to be portrayed as a henchman for the Superfly. I'm really curious where they're going to do with that because it's funny that we got Gino Esposito voicing Stockman, which I'm excited for. I think he's a great choice for that. John Cena voicing as Rocksteady, which I like. Rocksteady, Bebop are in this movie, which is great. They're, two of the most iconic names in the TMNT. So it's great that they're here. And of course, Bebop is going to be voiced by Seth Rogen. So that's pretty cool. So that's really great. Yeah, and then the weird thing is, like, so another one is Roseburn, the actress that plays. She's in the two serious horror films. That's with Patrick Wilson, and of course she's gonna be back in the third, in the new one coming in July. It's gonna voice Leatherhead, uh, the another uh famous mutant villain from the TMNT. So that's intriguing. And then Jackie Chan, voicing as Splinter. I think that's a really good choice for the mentor slash father of the four turtles. So that's really cool. And of course, Paul Rudd is going to be here. Maya Rudolph is going to voice as well as some of the mutant villains that we see here, which they're called the Mighty Mutant Animals, as they called. So they're like in the description I'm looking at right now, they're from like they're basically like superhero team with a band of how you say it, aminal like mutants. So they're using them as some of the villains. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, so I'm very excited for this casting. They look so far good.
Yes, and I like that, this film is going to focus on the teenage, part of the characters because that's who they are, like they're teenagers. And it was weird how, like, like other versions of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in film, didn't really focus on the teenage aspect of them. So we're definitely, I definitely feel like, and I'm anticipating, expecting that it'll probably touch on, I guess, like the daily struggles and issues of, being a teenager.
Yeah.
I think that, and I think that scene we saw when we saw Spider-Verse discussing what would you do if you had a normal life, and one of them was talking about going to school and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely anticipating that come August, and
Yeah.
August is almost here, and we're only 2 months away, and we're almost done with June, so it'll be here before I know it, and I think this film is going to do well.
Yes, I hope so because I definitely want more, more superhero animation films. Since Spider-Verse has came around, we got the Lego Batman movie, Big Hero 6. So I hope that we get more like adaptations of superheroes in animation form because they can do a lot more than what the live action films can do. You know, excuse me, like let's be honest here. Like the Spider Verse franchise is way better at doing, multiverse than what's really going on in DC and Marvel in general. The only film that's like gotten close to do with the multiverse concept really well is everywhere, everywhere. Oh my god, they got a long name here. Let me get this correct because it's an Oscar film. Yeah. Yes, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Great film. I saw it. It was great. It's one of the best multiverse live action films to date. So, yeah. So, I mean, DC and Marvel hasn't really scratched to that point of multiverse excitement for me. So yeah, I'm very intrigued about this. What else? Do you agree that you want to see more like superheroes in animation films more? If this film does successful.
To be honest, I lean more to live action realistic fiction.
What?
I've never really been into yeah, I never really got into animation like that because it just wasn't my thing. I just always preferred live action following, and that's why I had told you that Across the Spider-Verse was the best animation film I have ever seen. Just the visuals and the storytelling was amazing, and the voice acting, I really loved it. And if it wasn't for that film, I don't think I would have been this excited for TMNT.
That's all right. I mean, that's very true. for the animation style. That's very true. I'm very like shocked that like you're seeing the Pixar films and DreamWorks, right? Uh, 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 in the last decade, right? Uh, like you're seeing other animation films, right?
I'm sorry, say that again.
You seen like all the animation films?
I mean, not besides
Spider Verse.
the Spider Verse and Demon Slayer. I haven't really seen animation like that.
Wow,
Like I told you, I never got it. I never got into it.
wow. So you haven't seen any animation films from Pixar or DreamWorks? That's intriguing. Okay.
I did when I was a kid, but like it's been a long time, and like I said, I've
Hmm.
never been into animation. That's just not my thing.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. I mean, the same thing with horror, as you told me. Horror is just another thing that you're not into, right? As well. So, but yeah. So, okay, I can see why. And speaking of animation, you brought up the style of this film. So one thing that was really intriguing, from the concept art posters, even the teaser trailer a long time ago, and then this trailer, because you brought this up, and it's very clear how Spider Verse has definitely influenced this movie, and it's really cool. The animation by got this up. The Macros Animation is a French company that's creating digital effects, post production, and animation. So they're doing this animation. Some of the movies that they have done is, of course, Underpants, the first epic movie from 2017. I seen that. That's a really good movie. The SpongeBob movie from 2020, Sponge on the Run. That looks really cool. And then movies that they've done in terms of visual effects, they uh, sort of did. Oh, yeah. Uh,
Well, I will say, one animation film that I really liked was I actually saw it for the first time yesterday. Was Flashpoint, Flashpoint Paradox.
oh,
Um,
I know what you're
yeah,
talking about. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Of course, I've been in the storyline itself was just amazing. I remember the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Do you remember that?
Yes, I
That was
do.
one of
I
my
remember.
that was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid, and I used to love SpongeBob. I used to love Family, like Family Guy, and I even think I got into Dragon Ball Z a little bit when I was a kid. But I guess as you grow up, you kind of like it was like you don't have the same taste for them anymore, I guess. But those were my shows when I was a kid.
Wow. Huh. Yeah, well, I agree. Man, you brought up SpongeBob the movie. That was really good, but the animation mixed with live action. I Puss in Boots. You seen that one? I actually forgot you saw it briefly before you had to leave. During that Thursday in January. You need to watch that. It's a really great film. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Dragon Ball Z, I remember that one. I mean, it was very popular during our time when you and I were growing up. Like Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't even remember Yu-Gi-Oh. That was a great animation film. I mean, I wanted to collect all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards from that. Of course, Pokemon. It was very popular back then. So yeah. And also popular at that time was the 2003 version of the TMNT. I don't know if you've seen that. I guess I'm kind of curious. Are you a big fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Like, did you see some of the older ones that you were growing up, Chris?
Yeah, I did see some of the older ones when I was growing up, and actually, I was playing with them a little bit in Justice 2. So yeah, I
Oh,
am definitely familiar. So I definitely am familiar with like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and their older versions, but I was just so pissed with the last movie they made with Alan Richter,
That's
who starred as Hermes in Fast 10, and I even watched an old
yes,
interview with Richter saying he hated that movie, for several reasons, citing production as one of them. So I have confidence that this one will do well,
yeah,
considering that the unfinished cut of it was showed and it got a standing ovation.
yeah. I even shocked they did that. Yeah, you brought up the Michael Bay to live action. Well, Michael Bay produced TMNT films. Yeah, they're not good. I know what you're talking about in terms of the interview that Richardson did. If you could check that out in Collider, I think he went in very deep about what was going on with the first two films. But yeah, it was. I mean, those films were a huge mistake. I mean, the first one was such a course correction slash reaction to, if you know the aliens, the Teenage Mutant Turtles was going to be aliens, and they have to change that apparently. So a lot of course correction with the films, especially the second one. The second one was trying to really be kid friendly, less Bay like dark tone that was going on during the 2010s. But yeah, as you say, for Chris, I think this movie is doing a lot better than that did, and seeing the trailers, like everything seems right, and they're actually doing great. And I think we're gonna get a potential another Spider-Verse level for these characters that we love, which was great. So I'm very excited for that. Just like Spider-Verse that did for Spider-Man slash Miles Morales, I think this is a good choice. And the next one to be, for Turtles, which is great. So, yeah. So, thank God that we got the the first response of that uncut one. So that's pretty good. So hopefully it goes well when we see it on August 2nd. But yeah, anything else to say besides that? Are you ready to move on?